And hello, and welcome to the Criterion Connection. I'm Wade.
And I'm Joe.
And we're almost there. Episode 99 today. Almost there. Next week is episode 100. And we have an answer of who wins after this review. So we were doing 1936's Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers, Swing Time. It's a musical. Tap dance extravaganza.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And from what I read on Wikipedia, it is the beginning of the decline of the Fred Astaire Rogers tandem, yeah. I don't know why. It could be because it's like a little bit in the tail end of the Great Depression, a little bit maybe, or we're near World War II, or just people are just done.
Famously, Ginger Rogers has a lot of complaints about that time period. Because she's easily Fred Astaire's equal and was not paid as such.
Okay. That's a good reason.
Yep.
But this is starring them.
That's just a quick overview. It gets a lot more detailed.
Is there a documentary about it?
I don't know, but there's probably a good chunk of like a biography about it.
Yes. True Hollywood story is. No, there won't be one of those. So Fred Astaire plays a character named Lucky.
John Garrett.
So guess what? He's called Lucky. So guess what he does? He gambles here and there.
Well, yeah, I mean
he takes a gamble. And that's a theme in this movie.
Was a character trait that they established early on in a very sneaky way.
Yeah. With
the dice.
Yes.
When he leaves with all his buddies' money, I don't know, his dance troupe in the beginning, I'm not sure exactly what their relationship is with him. All I know is they're like a bunch of toadies he should have left behind a long time ago. Because they obviously don't have his best interest at heart.
Yeah, so he is also engaged.
Yeah.
To Margaret. She's engaged to her, and then him.
Yeah, her character is engaged to Lucky.
Yes.
That's all we got.
Yes.
Do you know anything about her? I don't.
Nope, that's all we're gonna.
Her dad wants to strangle Lucky.
Yeah. And it's like, you'll win my approval if you get like $25,000.
Well, yeah, he said I just got $200 today, and he's like, oh, okay, well, I guess things can be,
yeah.
eased over.
Oh, he's a real piece of work. So him and his friend Pops. Is it Pops?
Yeah, I guess he's like a manager, magic act or whatever.
Yeah.
But Lucky is part of a dance troupe in the beginning. And he's deciding to leave to marry Margaret and pursue something else. And then his buddies stall him, because he's supposed to leave right after a show to get married. They stall him to make him extra late.
He's the worst groom. Why would you have a show on your wedding day?
I needed to make money.
That $200 ain't going to grow anywhere else.
And then the bride's family gets fed up with waiting. All the guests leave. And basically, his wedding gets sabotaged.
Like the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. And then it's decided that he's going to go to New York. And as soon as he makes $25,000, he can come back and marry his daughter. That's what we got. That's our premise.
Yeah.
His buddies then sabotage him going to New York. As again,
the worst friends.
They are the worst. I'm like, dude, why do you hang out with these guys? They literally do everything, and then they make fun of him for it. Like, they take his money, and then they go to the end of the platform and wave him goodbye as he's standing at the ticket kiosk.
Oh, they're the worst ever.
Yeah.
If at the end of the movie they died in a fucking car crash, would not be hurt.
It's just like a random headline at the end of the movie that says bus accident.
Kills Lucky's troop, and you're like, how do they know who I am?
But he ends up in New York with nothing but his tuxedo from his wedding.
Yeah.
And Pops comes along with him.
And he also has a lucky quarter.
Well, he's got his lucky quarter.
Yes.
And by happenstance, he meets Ginger Rogers.
I think her name was Penny?
Her name is Penny.
Yes.
And basically, they run into each other on the street. She gives him 2 dimes and a nickel for a quarter so he can get pop a cigarette. They kick the machine. Whole bunch of coins and cigarettes fall out because he's lucky. And then he goes to replace. He's like, hey, can I give you that 2 dimes and a nickel for my quarter back? Because it's a lucky quarter. And she's like, stop bugging me. Go away, creep. All that stuff. Then she ends up, she drops a bunch of stuff and like pops, like takes the quarter out of her purse. And it becomes a big deal because you can't steal quarters back then. This is like 1930s,
Yeah.
man. So she gets a policeman, and the policeman tells her to bug off. And, you get your little bit of, what is that? Your gratuitous sexism.
Yes.
Immediately in the movie.
Yes.
Where he immediately sides with Fred
in the
Astaire's character.
In the
He's
30s, you
like,
have
lady, I'm going to book you for disturbing the peace. Move along.
In the 30s, you have to have a little bit of sexism in it.
Of course.
Yeah. I think Hollywood mandated that.
Yeah. And then from there, Fred Astaire follows her to her profession, where she's a dance teacher. He's a very skilled dancer, as we see in the beginning, in the first dance number. And off we go.
Yes.
He tries to smooth things over with her, and then messes things up more, and tries to fix it. And that's pretty much how the movie goes.
Yes. But they fall for each other in the process.
And yeah, and so...
And then she gets involved with Ricky.
But she was already kind of involved.
Yeah, I know, but that really kind of flares up, and then he's like, I want to marry you. And it just snowballs.
But it's a great, like... It's a romantic comedy, but it doesn't...
It feels genuine.
It feels a lot more eased in. Like, the pacing for the romance has, I think, a more believable, crescendo in this than in other ones.
Yes.
Like, it's not like a ding, like, all of a sudden she's fawning over him. It's kind of one thing and then another, and he, like, screws up and then makes up for it.
And he takes a gamble. He takes a gamble between his engaged life and this new pursued relationship. So that's why it's called lucky, I guess, because he takes the chance.
Maybe. I mean, it's he does gambling to try and get some money while he's in New York because he doesn't have any.
Yeah.
And then from there, he's able to luck out with showing off his dancing with her, and they're 2 extremely skilled dancers. So the guy wants to take him to the nightclub and whole bunch of stuff, and it's just like one thing after another. And I really enjoyed the movie. I thought the dance sequences are incredible.
And what I like about this one, it's a musical, but it spreads it out enough to where it's like
there's a plot.
It's never like a constant like they're gonna break into song. It's never like a constant song after song after song. It's kind of like plot. Here's a little song piece. Plot. Here's a little song piece.
I mean, they just. It's evened out, and so there's like enough room for it to breathe and build the plot, develop the characters a little bit, like Mabel and Pops, and kind of explore the different relationships and how things are changing throughout the course of the movie.
Yeah.
And then in the meantime, when you get these songs, and then you get a dance routine, sometimes they're both at the same time, sometimes they're one after another.
Yeah.
And it's just...
Obviously, the tap dancing
is... It's spectacular.
Obviously, the dancing is the best part of the movie.
Yeah, it really is like a treat to watch some of those routines they put together.
Oh, yeah.
And then not only do that, but to be able to act well together, sing well, and just... like, the chemistry that Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers has is... This is like a perfect movie to see where it is, because you get both sides. You get her disliking him, and you also get her falling for him in the same movie.
Yeah.
And the same thing with him, where he's scared of falling in love with her while he's still engaged.
And it leads to the iconic, I'm not going to dance again. Never going to dance again. Like, and that leads to, that's a...
There was one part that kind of I'm not really sure how to take it, and it's the you know what I'm talking about, right? The blackface part.
Yeah.
Yeah, towards the end of the movie.
I wasn't gonna bring it up.
Well, you got to bring it up.
I was just gonna totally ignore it.
No, we can't ignore it.
I know. Well, if I ignore it, that means I'm not acknowledging it.
Yeah. I really don't know how to feel about it because it's like
it's a different time.
Yeah, and this is, I mean,
we can't go back to the 30s and change it. You know, it's there.
This is like
forever.
A decade after Al Jolson and the Jazz Singer, and his, you know, very well documented blackface pursuits.
Yes.
But it's like it's a tribute to the famous tap dancer Bojangles, and I'm just not sure how to take it.
Yeah.
Because it's not like overtly offensive, the way they do it to me, at least in my perception. But it's like the fact that they are doing it is offensive.
Yeah.
But it's like it's supposed to be out of love and appreciation for Bojangles.
Yeah.
I believe was it Billy Robinson? I think is his real name. The famous African American tap dancer.
I don't know much of the tap dancing lore.
Okay. All right. All the legends and lore of tap dancing. The overall, like, the whole movie was really fine.
Yeah.
It was really good. There's some really great... I would say one of the best songs was A Fine Romance, which is in the snow, the winter part. I thought that was one of the best songs.
Yes.
And, of course, it comes in with a reprise later. But yeah.
Yeah. Buy, rent, or skip. So this week it came out on Blu-ray and DVD, or last week. One of those weeks. One of the weeks.
It's one of these last couple weeks. And it's hard to say because I don't know if this is going to appeal to most film watchers. Like, I don't know how many people are into musicals and dance movies. If you are, it's a total buy.
Yeah.
It's a legendary film for it. I'd say it's a solid rent, though. It's worth watching. It's not terribly dated.
It doesn't drag. It doesn't
drag, and it's just it's always moving forward. And what I like is, instead of arbitrarily, like, pulling the rug out from the main character, it's always a new problem.
Yeah.
Instead of rehashing the same old one and just kind of pulling the rug out.
That new problem is created by fixing something else.
Yeah, everything is kind of leading into the other. Like, well, they finally, like, he misses the audition, but he spends a week picketing to have her, you know, take him back while he set up a new audition.
Yeah.
And when they get the new audition, when they get there, the band's gone, so they can't do the audition. And it's just one thing, like, it's a different problem, and he just keeps solving different ones.
It's not the screenwriter randomly throwing problems at the main character.
Yeah, they lead one into the other. It's like the old cartoon where, like, the boat has a hole and the guy puts his finger in it, and then a new hole, and he puts his finger in it, and he just keeps trying to put fingers in holes to stop it. You never seen those cartoons back then?
No. Oh, no, I have. Oh,
I'm sorry. It's not part of the tap dancing lore.
You lost me at you lost me at fingers and holes. I'd say Rent as well. It's fine to watch. To me, in my collection, it's not essential. Mm-hmm. But, you know, if I see it if Barnes & Noble or Criterion have a sale, I'll probably pick it up, you know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Rent. It's not on the... did you watch it on the Criterion?
It's not on the Criterion channel yet. I would love to see the high definition, like, what Criterion did with it, because there's, like, a couple moments in the version I watched where things could have been cleaned up with the transfer.
Yes.
So I'd love to see what Criterion did with it.
Yes. So I watched it on Amazon Video, so that's how I watched it. Yeah. That's our thoughts on Swing Time. Mm-hmm. Also, I want to point out, it is not based on a novel. Whenever you type in Swing Time in Google, it gives you the novel. It's not based off that at all.
Yeah, it's a little far from it.
Yeah. So, just so you know, not based off a book. So that's our thoughts. Let us know in the comment section below. Are there any other musicals? I'm not sure if there's any other Fred Astaire movies that are
I'm
on.
not sure either.
Yeah. So let us know in the comment section. There's like
I know,
1,000 movies.
like All That Jazz is on there, which
Yeah.
is about Bob Fosse.
So let us know in the comment section, all that stuff. I guess we should unveil what next week's episode is.
Should we?
Yes.
Or should we make it a surprise?
No, I think we should hype it up. We should put the hype train up.
Are you sure?
So we had a poll. Not poll. People were commenting for the past few videos for Seven Samurai,
Mm-hmm.
Qui-Gon,
Yeah.
Breathless,
Uh-huh.
and 400 Blows.
Mhm.
And pretty much a unanimous not unanimous, but like a huge number of people want us to do Qui-Gon. So next week, episode 100 will be Qui-Gon. Yeah, I've never seen it. I've looked through the Google Images because that's how I make the art for the YouTube stuff. So I want to be progressive and do it. And there's a lot of weird scenery and weird shots. And like I'm interested. So episode 100 is Qui-Gon. So I know some people in the comment section are excited for that. So next week, tune in. Yeah. So until next time, I'm Wade.
And I'm still Joe.
And we will see you later.